I also got to see Tales of Halloween. Yeah, I've seen a lot of horror movies in the past 2 weeks or so. And I really wish that I could have seen them all in time to do a Halloween special, but I was unable to film during Halloween or a little bit before that. And this is the first time I've been able to film in quite a while, so unfortunately I didn't get to do it in time. But anyway, here's my review of the Tales of Halloween. Tales of Halloween is an anthology film with 10 separate horror movies. Now this film is only about 92 minutes, so I was surprised that these short films could actually work well. And for the most part, a lot of the tales do really work, despite them only being 14 or so minutes long. It's way better than the ABCs of Death, where you only have like 2 or 3 minutes in order to make a short movie. Tales of Halloween is set in the same town, and it's different stories that all happen on one night. So in a sense, you kind of think that maybe this is trying to be the next Trick or Treat. Now I have seen Trick or Treat. It's one of my favorite Halloween movies in recent years. You can definitely see that Tales of Halloween tries to be more like Trick or Treat. And there are aspects of it that do feel just as good as Trick or Treat, but in no way is it as good as Trick or Treat overall. You do get 10 different tales, which is more than Trick or Treat, but not all of them are as great as Trick or Treat. Similar to Trick or Treat, it tries to combine it all into one town and tries to make sure that all of them are cohesive enough. There are little hints that make it look like, okay, this is all set in the same world. But it doesn't meld as well together as the stories of Trick or Treat. The stories of Trick or Treat, you all know, okay, this is concise, this is all set in the same town, this feels like the same world. In Tales of Halloween, there are moments where it feels like this doesn't seem like the same world, this doesn't seem like the same movie. Some of them are more comedy horror, some are strictly awesome, serious horror, but for the most part, sometimes it's a little too wacky. One of the problems that anthology films could have is that some stories are great, while others are just meh or just plain terrible. In Tales of Halloween, there is one of the 10 stories that I did not enjoy at all, and it was the Hansel and Gretel type story that was being told. But I thought the 9 other tales in this movie were at least good or sometimes downright amazing. It honestly really started off on a high note with Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth might be my favorite story among the 10 Tales of Halloween. It's the most serious of the horror stories, and it's this really nice urban legend about a boy that was unable to eat candy when he was a kid because his parents would eat the candy that he would collect. But then he killed his parents, ate all the candy, including the candy in their stomachs, and then now if you don't save some candy for him on Halloween, he's gonna come after you, kill you, and eat the candy that's still left in your stomach. That was a really neat urban legend, and it was really graphic, it was really neat, it was really cool horror story, and it fit well. The problem is a lot of the other tales don't add up to that level of horror. Like I said, most of them are horror comedy, and the second one is really mind-boggling that it would be right after Sweet Tooth because it is almost literally all comedy. Imagine seeing this really serious horror movie that was really well done and well made, and then the next story being almost a strict comedy with a pretty neat twist at the end. Now I really like that a lot of the tales have a nice urban legend feel to them, which makes most of the stories a little more cohesive. There's also a few reoccurring characters throughout, a few reoccurring television shows that make it feel like, okay, this is set during this time, during this tale. And a lot of them had a nice little twist and a little bit of a comedic element to it. So there are moments where a lot of them feel like they mesh together well, but at the same time it seems a little inconcise at times as well. There's a lot of nice little cameos from different actors that I wasn't expecting in this movie. One of them being Elaine from the Insidious movies. Another was the mind reader from the original Heroes series. And then another one was the vampire in the Sci-Fi Channel's version of Being Human. Those were really nice cameos in the film, and I really appreciated those actors being in the film. Even though the mind reader from Heroes was at the very end of Sweet Tooth and had like one little scene at the end. There was probably more cameos that I didn't recognize that were throughout this movie, but I really did enjoy the little cameos in the movie. Overall, I think the Tales of Halloween is a really nice horror film. It's not as great as Trick or Treat, not as great as I would like it to be, and some of its stories are way better than other stories throughout the film. Like I said, there's only one short story I couldn't stand it all throughout the film, and that was the Hansel and Gretel one. All the rest were at least good or great, like Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth was probably my favorite. So I think I'm going to give Tales of Halloween 3.5 stars. I can't quite give it 4. So have you seen Tales of Halloween? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, what is your favorite anthology horror movie? Mine might actually be Trick or Treat. But then again, the Creepshow movies were good too, though that would be anthology horror. Anyway, as always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.